Real Conversations in the QC is sponsored by Accentra Credit Union. This is Real Conversations in the QC,
where Black experiences matter.
Black stories are heard.
And real conversations happen. So, let's get started.
Good morning. Welcome to Real Conversations in the QC. I'm contributor Jasmine Butler. Today, I am at Harrison Elementary School, and I'm talking to Dr. Tia Hicks, who is the principal. Dr. Hicks, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So we've heard a lot about the teacher shortage, including here in Davenport. So what are you seeing right now, and how is it impacting our schools here in the Quad Cities?
The teacher shortage is actually nationwide, so everybody is experiencing it. And yes, here in Davenport, we have shortages as well. However, the Davenport district does a really good job of promoting our positions and getting ourselves out there. And then here personally at Harrison, I make sure that I'm creating a welcoming environment and putting that out so that people can see it and make sure they know Davenport is a great place to be and work. Another thing that they do, they're going to job fairs, they're seeking out teachers and things like that. Particularly, just happened to me. We had a late resignation this school year, and so we had an opening here at Harrison in second grade, and so I did some footwork, just posted it on our Dr. Hicks Facebook page. Mm-hmm. I made lots of phone calls and things, and we were able to have a meeting or interview today, and hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah, fingers crossed that goes through. It was a really good interview, so we're hoping that it pans out for us.
I love that. So tell me the importance of advocating for your building, and like you said, you did your own personal social media. Mm-hmm. Just elaborate on the importance of that.
So advocating for anything is going to be important because Davenport is such a large district, and so sometimes things get lost. I feel like with all the things that are going on, it's not intentional or anything, but you just have to make sure that you're keeping that and doing your own part to make sure that, hey, this is out there and it's open and we're trying to get people in. Our HR department does a really good job of posting in other places as well.
Just the importance of utilizing social media. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's so cool, especially right now in this day and time when social media is such a huge factor in everything.
Yes, people are looking at that. Honestly, full disclosure, the Facebook page that I created was only supposed to be for my first year. I wanted to document my first year as a principal, but it has just been so welcomed by everyone, and I get so many comments on it, and they just so much interaction. So I'm going to keep it going.
Yes, I'm a fan. So beyond simply hiring more teachers, how important is school culture when it comes to retaining good educators?
Oh, that is very important. I actually did my dissertation on special education teacher attrition. And what I found in that dissertation and that research is that teachers are leaving because of the same reason that they're staying. Administrative support. If you are supporting your teachers, they're staying. If they don't feel supported, they're leaving. And so I feel like that's the same thing with getting teachers here and having them to stay in your building. You have to make sure that you're showing support to them, giving them some autonomy in what they're doing. Teachers are creatives, right? And if we take all of that autonomy away from them, you've taken their opportunity to be creative. And so I'm make sure that I create opportunities for them to have some autonomy in their classrooms. And as far as building a fun culture as well, no one wants to go to work and be bored, right? And so I'm doing lots of fun things and giving teachers that opportunity to just be creative again.
Yeah, I love it. So since becoming principal at Harrison, what were some of the things you knew you wanted to change?
So There wasn't like a whole lot. I didn't like come in and was like, oh, I want to change all the things. As a matter of fact, the teachers will tell you, Dr. Hicks told us as a first year principal, she wasn't going to make very many changes. However, I did some intentional things when I started. I met with every last one of my teachers one-on-one and asked them some specific questions. And there were just some themes and patterns that came out of those. And so I promised to honor those things that were coming out. And so it just kind of paved the way for me to make changes because research will show you that as a first year, anything in leadership, you shouldn't make big changes. But because I kind of set the stage for that, I was able to make some changes. And some of the things that I did is involve the teachers in more of what's going on, what's happening in the building. For example, the end of the school year last year, we're making class lists. They were a part of that process. I met with each grade level. We're looking at all students, and we made balanced classrooms in that way. And now that school year, we're getting students in that weren't here last year, so we're having to do that again. Other things, I gave them permission, right, to do fun things that sometimes we just have to give them permission to be who they are and just let them run with that creativity.
Yeah, listening and again, being that advocate for them. Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine.
And that is another thing, listening to them, but also with the follow through, right? They'll come to me with different challenges and things like that. And I have to make sure if I tell a teacher that I'm going to do something, I have to follow through on that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, the same way you would be with your child, right? You tell your child you're going to do this on Saturday, you're going to do it on Saturday.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
Or tell them the reason why it couldn't happen.
Right.
Yes. That is great. So what have you done intentionally to make teachers and staff feel supportive? You kind of already given us an example, valued and excited to be at Harrison.
Again, yes, listening to them. I have made them a part of all the processes that I have done here at Harrison. We have a BSAT team, so anything new that I feel like I want to bring in, I'm going to first bring that to my BSAT team. Hey, what do you guys think about A, B, and C? And they're going to give me feedback, and then, okay, well, let's move on to the next step. Let's bring it to the team. When we got here, we didn't participate in like Halloween celebrations and classroom parties and things like that. And going back to that other questions, now that I'm thinking that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Because I think that elementary school all schools should be fun, but especially at the elementary level, because this is where we're creating in students the love of school, the love of education. And when we take that away, then it's harder for them to stay in and want to continue on through high school. And and our graduation rate is up. So just want to plug that for Davenport.
Yes.
We're doing the things to make it so. But so that was one of the things that I did. I said, hey, do you guys want to have classroom parties? And it was an overwhelming yes. And so, okay, these are the ones that we can do. What do you want to do? And so Halloween was one of them. Halloween, spooky season is my favorite. So I had to plug that in, but they voted. So they wanted it too.
One of my fondest memories of elementary school was coming to school for this celebration days, whether it be Halloween. I remember one year I was Princess Jasmine, and another 100-day celebration, just different things like that. And I can attest that it does make you excited about coming to school and a joy for school, because I love school in elementary school, product of Fillmore Elementary, Davenport School. So I remember that. That's a good point.
Absolutely.
So what changes have you seen among the students as the culture at Harrison has evolved?
So the students, I feel like they just love being here. Like when I come into the building, I'm in like all the classrooms. You just see how they want to be here. They're going up to the teachers, asking for hugs, giving hugs. The teachers are waiting at their classroom door, greeting everyone to come in, and just. It's just somewhere where people just desire to be, and the kids are no different. And we also include our students in some of our conversations and our decision making too. And I think that makes a big difference too. We have a our youth group, our youth leadership team, some of our fifth graders went on to sixth grade. We're going to miss them so much, but they worked together and made changes in Harrison as well. Like as far as what are the incentives that you guys want to see. They come and they talk about why did we had an uptick in this type of behavior. I'm seeing a lot of this referrals. Why do you think that is?
Yes.
Getting the input from students. So it's not just that they're coming to have fun. They're also a part of our culture in creating and changing our culture too.
That is amazing. Just having at a fifth grade level, knowing that you have a voice and you can use it and seeing that change. That's genius.
Yeah, and it is our fourth and fifth graders, and our counselor, Molly Koberstein, I'll plug her, she's pretty amazing. She works directly with them. She invites me to those meetings, and they do some phenomenal work. They've actually been over to the Lutheran home next door and work with some of our elderly there and things like that. So yeah, they know that they are a part of our community and they can make changes at this age as well.
Yes, that's amazing. So how important are parents and families in building the kind of school culture you're working to create?
I can't do anything without the parents and our community. The parents, if they're not sending the students to school, if they don't find the culture welcoming and they're not sending them here, I can't, do anything without them sending the students here. But also we had a very active PTA, and the PTA is such a huge part of helping us to build our culture as well. They participate in making sure that we're having spirit days and things like that. They're coming in, they're getting the word out into the community. If I have concerns when I go to those PTA meetings, hey, we had this program and I didn't see very many parents, like what's going on. They're talking to community and getting that out and bringing back to me. I sent out a survey. We worked again with the BSAT team and created a survey to see how we were doing. What are some things that we're doing great? What are the things that we need work on? And so we're looking at those surveys and we're making changes based on those surveys too that's coming from the community. So if you see a survey from Harrison, fill it out, because we are actually using, excuse me, I'm so tongue-tied today. We are actually using that data to make changes in our building, and we can't do it if we can't make changes if we don't know something needs to be changed.
And so just for our viewers, because you mentioned BSAT, what does BSAT stand for?
Oh, sorry.
No,
The
you're
BSAT
fine.
is our Building Student Achievement Team. So it's a group of teachers, and we have a community member and our counselor, instructional coach, people in our building that work together to look at things that are happening in the building, see what changes that we need to make, reaching out when we need to, like I say, creating that survey and things like that.
Okay. And so as you head into a new school year, what are you most excited about for Harrison Elementary?
Well, I think the most exciting thing that I am so just stoked about is we just had some training that we paid for. I'm very cautious or cognizant of being a good steward of the tax dollars that we receive. And so one of the things that I noticed in doing walkthroughs and being in so many classrooms is that we needed a little bit more student engagement. Our teachers are phenomenal. We have a phenomenal curriculum from the district, but I was seeing that I could still see that we need a little bit more engagement. So I brought in a Kagan cooperative learning professional development for my staff yesterday, and they had a phenomenal time. I don't know if you've checked out the page. I put pictures on there and things, but it was a really good training. And it just aligns, it's not an extra thing for them to do, right? It aligns perfectly with the curriculum that we have, the PBIS thing that we're doing. The PBIS is positive behavior intervention support. So that we're already doing it, it aligns perfectly. And I think that this one thing is going to be the thing that is really going to take us to the next level in achievement. And so that is what I am just most excited about. And to see the teachers so excited about a training was just so, my heart just did my heart heart just good, because you see a lot of times teachers in trainings and they're just like, oh, here goes another
Yes.
one. But they were so engaged and they were so excited about it. And I really think this is just going to be one of the things that's just going to take us to the next level.
Yeah, that's great. And you kind of hit it right on the nail for me, because when you hear the word training, and I mean, I know for me in my profession, I'm like, oh, another training. But for teachers, and I know it's training season right now as you guys get ready to prepare to go back to school. But the fact that they were so excited to, have this training and to learn to have an even better school year is such a blessing. Yeah, that's great. So Dr. Hicks, as we close, what is one message you want to leave with our viewers, whether there's a parent, an educator, or simply someone who cares about the future of our children and our schools?
I would say the one thing that I would like to leave with everyone is that the African proverb, it takes a village. Yes. Right? I need community members. I need the family. I need teachers. I need everyone to get on board with our vision at Harrison, but also in Davenport schools, and find where you fit in. Find where you can take part in doing something for our schools, whether that's coming in to volunteer to read, whether that is showing up to the different events that we're having and just showing your support. Just find where you fit into Davenport Community School District and do it.
Yes. I love it. Dr. Hicks, thank you so much for your time today. And I already know you're going to have an amazing school year. And I look forward to seeing what's new on Dr. Hicks' page.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate having a voice.
Yes, absolutely. And stick around right after the break. I will be chatting with Tammy Fritz of Great Oaks, a new school that just opened in Davenport.